to be answered. As part of his plea deal, Jeff Brown received a 20-year prison sentence. Cindy Reese got 40 years. As for Michael Reese, the unwitting victim of a love triangle he wanted no part of, all that's left of him now are memories. Memories of a kind and gentle soul with a big laugh and an even bigger heart.
How do you want people to remember Michael?
He was just a funny guy. He enjoyed life so much. He was just a good person, and anybody that ever knew him would tell you the same thing.
That's all for now. I'm Lester Holt. Thanks for joining us.
You're watching NBC4 News at 11.
Now at 11, a new week of unease across the Western Hemisphere. Brand new images tonight of the United States capture of Venezuelan leader Nicolas Maduro, fresh off a weekend of protests for and against his capture, the world wondering what will come next. Maduro and his wife are now both due in court tomorrow, just days after the surprise U.S. attack on Venezuela. Thank you for joining us here at 11. I'm Jonathan Gonzalez.
I'm Kathy Vara. They will be facing charges including narco-terrorism and drug trafficking. So here is the very latest at this hour. A bipartisan group of 8 top lawmakers will be getting briefed tomorrow on the Trump team's plans, as there are demands for a full briefing to the Senate by midweek. Venezuela's acting interim leader, Delcy Rodriguez, spoke hours ago, inviting the U.S. to work on a cooperation agenda and not war.
Earlier tonight, President Trump gave a wide-ranging interview on Air Force One. In part, he posed the idea of actions against Greenland, Colombia, Cuba, even the cartels in Mexico.
The cartels are running Mexico, whether you like it or not. It's not nice to say, but the cartels are running Mexico.
Tonight, NBC Nightly News anchor Tom Llamas takes a closer look at the captured Venezuelan president now facing American justice.
Tonight, one day after that secret U.S. mission to capture Venezuela's authoritarian leader, Nicolás Maduro, the new images of him in federal custody. These photos show the captured leader coming off the plane, giving a thumbs up and posing with federal agents. And our first look at his wife, Celia Flores, a source confirming this video of Flores with Maduro as agents help him get out of an armored vehicle after arriving at the offices of the DEA. The White House also sharing this video with the caption, "Perp walked," as Maduro says Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
The former president appearing relaxed, making a peace sign moments before he was transported to the Metropolitan Detention Center, where he's being held. Today, dozens of anti-war protesters were outside as Maduro sits behind bars at the same federal jail that has also held other high-profile inmates, including Sean Diddy Combs, Ghislaine Maxwell, and R. Kelly, as well as Luigi Mangione, who is still in custody there. All of this coming after that stunning operation to capture Maduro early Saturday morning with 150 aircraft launched from 20 bases. Tonight, President Trump with a new threat to Venezuela's vice president and de facto leader, Delcy Rodriguez. In a phone interview with The Atlantic, President Trump said if she doesn't do what's right, she's going to pay a very big price, probably bigger than Maduro. Rodriguez was sworn in as president on Saturday. She's a Maduro loyalist serving as his vice president since 2018. President Trump said this about her yesterday.
She had a long conversation with Marco, and she said, "We'll do whatever you need."
But on state television, Rodriguez called for the immediate release of Maduro and his wife, calling him, quote, the only president of Venezuela.
Por el presidente Maduro. Único presidente de Venezuela.
Saying we will never again be a colony to any empire. Her war of words with the U.S. adding to the questions about who will lead the South American country.
We're going to run the country until such time as we can do a safe, proper, and judicious transition.
Today, Meet the Press moderator Kristen Welker, Press Secretary of State Marco Rubio about the president's statement.
Who are those people who will be running the country specifically?
Well, it's not running, it's running policy. The policy with regards to this, we want Venezuela to move in a certain direction because not only do we think it's good for the people of Venezuela, it's in our national interest.
Republican Congressman Mario Diaz-Balart represents a district in southern Florida with many Venezuelan immigrants. He wants to see the opposition leader, Maria Corina Machado, take over the country.
Would Maria Corina Machado be a good leader for Venezuela?
I think she's one of the most impressive leaders that I've ever met. She has dedicated her life for the cause of freedom. She's been fighting that regime, and she has wide popular support within Venezuela.
He tells me he believes this could be a turning point.
The rest of the cartel knows that either they start behaving, they start not repressing the people of Venezuela, sending drugs to the United States, bringing in all of our enemies into the region. If they don't stop that, their future could be the same one that Maduro's facing.
On the ground in Venezuela's capital, armed pro-government civilians patrolled outside supermarkets.
No more wars for our empire!
While back here in the U.S. this weekend, there were protesters from San Diego to Washington, D.C. protesting against that military action.
That was NBC's Tom Llamas reporting. We are staying on top of every angle with these events and what could come next. As we said, Maduro and the First Lady of Venezuela, Celia Flores, are set to make their initial court appearances tomorrow. But the price of oil and most all stock futures are slightly up ahead of tomorrow's market open. And attention now turns to Cuba, Colombia, and even Mexico, three places the President Trump mentioned tonight and in recent days as potential next targets of his administration's foreign policy. Right now on our NBC LA website, we have a special section dedicated to live updates. You can get the very latest information there and tomorrow here on the air with Today in LA starting at 4 a.m.
Turning our focus now to the wet weather out there and the days of rain. Now in Southern California, multiple cars have been damaged tonight after hitting this large pothole that has formed in West Adams. We're looking at brand new video of it. This is on South La Brea Avenue in West Haven. That is right by the Baldwin Hills Library. One driver was taking his friends to the airport.
Heard this huge thump twice, and then as soon as I heard that, the warning lights in my car went off, and both of my tires on the passenger side just blew out completely. And so I told my friends to get an Uber to the airport, and now I'm just waiting here for a tow truck.
And tonight, cameras caught this rain in Anaheim. We are still looking at a bit of a rain to start the week. Meteorologist Kelly Moody tracking it all in your first alert forecast.
Thanks, Kathy. We are not quite done yet. We're taking a look outside right now at your First Alert Radar Network, where you can see we've been following a couple of different bands of wet weather, continuing to watch some of this move ashore. This one band here has been trekking through the Inland Empire, heading in towards San Bernardino and continuing to push even closer towards spots like Beaumont even. As we look farther down to the south, you can see we've